All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's going on, everybody? Glad to see everybody in the room. And today's going to be fun. Today's going to be fun. We're just going to keep it light. No crazy talk. We're just going to have some fun. And I'm going to have my friend Chico Boom join us in just a second. I just want to give some people some time to hop up in the room. What's going on, Steve? I was thinking about Eastbound and Down and Stevie Janowski. You guys ever watch that? It's a funny show with Danny McBride. Um, but anyways, yeah, today we're going to be having some fun. I got a handful of little things I want to cover before I give my friend a call. And I'm going to pull up a little list of stuff. Already got a thumb down. That didn't take very long. Thank you guys. All right. So one thing I wanted to say is there's something pretty cool going on here. Let me get you guys know I'm in my walk-in closet. My high-end walk-in closet with 30-something inches from one to the other. I just noticed that somebody who's always in the room too, Easy Blade, 50 Shades of Blades. I think 50 Blades of Gray. That's what I wanted to say. I checked out his channel recently. I just want to say it's pretty cool. I didn't realize he had a channel and it's all about butterflies and stuff. So butterfly knives and stuff. So I thought it was pretty neat. Tips to quit vaping, man. I got you, man. I got you. I actually quit vaping, man, and it was hard, dude. That first like 3 or 4 days was like I wanted to like chew my arm off, and I just couldn't stop going for it because it's just so easy to do. But honestly, if you can make it through those 3 or 4 days, man, and maybe just do a little running or something something to replace that bad habit with something good and something positive. I'm pretty sure you could get over it just like I did. I don't even think about it no more. That's the good news. All right. The second two quick cool things that's going on with Gamma News here. All right. This blade here, I'm calling it the Vapor blade. And if you notice, it's got the lines on it like a taper blade would, right? But if we turn it sideways, you'll actually see that it's relatively the same shape as the Fade blade. So it's a happy compromise for both. And I think that you guys would just love this blade. It just melts the hair. It just melts the hair right off. I mean, these things, they just eviscerate the hair. It gets super close. It gets the lines out pretty easy. And I'm not like a huge fan of taper blades myself, but it actually seems like it's a nice mix. It's very forgiving. So, all right. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Jazz Forever Changed. I appreciate you guys using my code. That helps the channel grow. And, we're going to keep on growing this thing. So, all right. You guys got to check this out. Let it focus. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. It's looking at me. Come on, camera. All right. I'm going to move it back a little bit. Maybe you can see it. All right. So, basically what we have here is this blade is called the Gamma Ultimate. And I think, I don't want to quote anybody, but I think that the new absolute hitters might start coming with this. I hope that they will, or they might just add this in along with your purchase or something. I'm not 100% sure what they're going to do, but I was talking to them about this blade. They gave me this. This was a prototype, so no, I don't have any other ones. And one of the other ones I gave away to Ant, I never knew that was the only ceramic cutter in existence, so I gave it to Ant, and then I called him. I'm like, yo, can you guys send me another ceramic? I gave mine away, and they were like, that was the only one in existence. So, anyways, I don't plan on giving this one up until I see an abundance of them. So that's kind of what's going on and what's new. And I'm going to make a video that'll cover this a little bit more in depth. And by the way, they call it the Fusion blade. I just think it sounds cool, like the Vapor blade. It's like a fade and a taper blade mixed into one. So it looks like we're going to have about 22 people in the room right now. It's all good. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get this guy on the line. Made it out of the gym. That's right. You see, we've been hitting the gym. Anybody who's watching my stories, I've been hitting the gym every morning, and I've been kind of trying to inspire you guys to do so as well. I just feel like when you hit the gym in the morning, it just sets you up like you've already accomplished something. You know, the fact that you've already accomplished something allows you to go on and accomplish more and greater things throughout the day. So I just like the feeling of going, getting the workout done, and going on to my next stage, which usually I like to try to make myself a good breakfast so I can feel good and healthy while I'm working. And then bam, we go on to work and we're feeling good and we're feeling good about our body and our health. And, you know, it's just something that's just awesome. What up, Dre? Good to see you, buddy. No. Actually, listen, it's just as quiet as it ever was. Like, if I was cutting your hair, we could have a conversation. I got this on, and it's the noise level is like indecipherable from how it was to how it is. So it's pretty good. Good question. And I had I had a little kid in my chair today who was just he wasn't having it, man. He did not want a haircut. Thank God I had something as quiet as these, because what I did was I pulled out the Oster, um, I pulled out the Oster Octanes and I turned those on and I pretended like I was gonna cut his hair. And those things, they sound like a machine gun to him. So I put those down and I turned on the other ones and he was like, "Oh, okay, okay, that's better." You know, he was all nervous. All right, I'm gonna call my friend Chico Boom. Let's get him in the room and let's get this show on the road. All right, all right. We're calling him right now. Perfect. And when I get him in the room, you guys got to tell me if we can hear him good and everything like that. Just let us know. Yes. Uh, it can fit. It can fit on it. Hey, what's up, Chico? Hang on,
Yo, yo, what's good?
hang on, I'm gonna put you in right. Why is it not? Where are we at here? Boom. All right, we in there. Ha. Cool. They can see you, man. Hey, put your camera up just a tiny bit more, because I'm cutting off the top of your head. There we go. That's better. Because this
You
thing
good there?
crops you a little bit. Yeah, yeah. They can see you. Looking good,
All
man.
right. All right.
Right on. Okay, Chico, man. So do I call you Chico or do I call you what do
You
I
call
call
me, you call me whatever you want, man. Just don't call me late for dinner,
you?
man.
I do it, man. So this is Chico Boom, man. Tell them a little bit about yourself and where you're from and that kind of thing.
What up, world? It's your boy Chico Boom coming to you live from Fort Myers, Florida. I'm a Fort Myers native. I've been cutting hair for about 19 years. So all you rookies that's getting in the game right now, man, I've been around for a long time. You know what I mean? I got to pay homage to the ones before me because without them, I wouldn't be here right now. But yeah, I've been putting hair on the floor for a while. On a couple shops over here in Fort Myers, Florida. I have the Black Sheep Men's Parlor, so 21 and up, no women, no kids. Sort of. Yeah, because as we get older, you know, we stop wanting to cut the kids, man. But not just that. I wanted to create something more grown for the gentleman. You know what I mean? For the men that wanted to, for the gentleman who loves to be different. You know, so
Dude, I love
created
that.
that.
I
Yeah,
love that, man. I seen that and I thought and it's elegant. You guys ought to go I'm gonna pull up his Instagram in a minute. You guys gotta see this place. But you didn't spare no expense in there. It looks like you went like all out.
yeah. I did. I put a pretty penny behind it. The place was literally a dump, like really, literally a dump, and you can go to the Black Sheep Men's Parlor on Instagram, and you got some pictures there. But yeah, we did a full renovation inside the building, and we wanted to create something different that nobody else had. So we did that, and that just came from years of traveling. I do continuous education in the barber industry, in the beauty industry, and work with several companies. So I got to travel around the world, you know, educating, motivating, inspiring barbers and stylists from all over, everywhere from Asia, Europe, South America, North America. And you know, as you travel, it alters the way you think, the way you see things. And my taste buds, my palate started changing. And what I was okay with before, I started to be not okay with the more I grew. And you know, you expand your mind frame and your horizons, and you just start finding yourself in a different place. and you want to bring a little piece of that home. When you get home, you want to feel like you're somewhere else. So if you come over here from the outside of the building, you'll never know that this was here. And then you open the door and you're like, wow, this is right here in Central Fort Myers. And kind of like that little getaway, and that's what the people feel when they come in here. They have the jazz playing, got candles lit. It's a real nice
So you go for the
ambiance.
jazz, huh?
Yeah, no hip hop in here. We don't do that.
This is like a difficult thing for me. Like they at my own shop, I tell them I can't be trusted with the music because you never know what could come on my playlist, man. And I'm like, I'm forever messing it up. And I put Chad in charge, and he was one of the ones who really wanted me to get you on there too. He's one of the barbers in my shop. He's always kind of looked up to you, and we always check out your stuff. Vocals, yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy right there, Chad. Let me tell you something.
He's in the
Chad
room too. He said, "What's up?"
tell him I said what's up, man. That man has always showed me nothing but love, support, and I wish there was more people like Chad in this world, in this beauty industry. You know what I mean? Just a straight up, straight shooter. Always. There's a lot of people that got egos and they don't want to show someone love or you know salute them or follow them when they're doing something. You know what I mean? I'm doing something in my lane. He might be doing something in his lane, but I'll support him on whatever he chooses to do as well.
Yeah.
But Chad is, salute to him, man. But yeah, I'm like that at Booms though, bro. Like I get it, Eddie, man. Like at Booms, somebody gives me the remote and I might play some like some Jeezy's first album. You know what I mean? Like, don't give it to me, So it's
We'll
two
be
different
trapping
worlds.
by the end of the day. We all be trapping in
Yeah,
that thing.
yeah, man. So, you know what
Get
I
all
mean? But
gassed up.
over here, it's more grown and sexy, so we try to keep it real sophisticated. We play a little salsa, something like that. That's as turned up as we get, though.
You guys smoke cigars in there?
Yeah, yeah, and it's crazy because you don't smell it when you come in here,
I love the
and
smell of cigars. I
you
always
too.
have.
I do too. So if we smoke it, like the next day, you'll get a hint of it if we don't air it out. But we have a back door and we have a really good ventilation in here, and doesn't smell like that. You come in here, it's always fresh and clean. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, well, like one of the reasons why I started cutting hair, my nana. I grew up in my nana's house, and like she always had people in the chair getting haircuts, doing stuff, and I was one of them people just didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I was like, I had friends. They were like, I want to be a pilot. I want to do this. I want to do that. What you want to do, Ed? And I'm like, well, I don't know. And then I got old enough and watching enough of my nana and everybody, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll go into this thing. She used to own a salon, had zero ventilation. It would be like 8 operators smoking cigarettes while they worked, people in the chair smoking cigarettes while they got cut, people waiting smoking cigarettes, and it'd be like a haze hanging in the air in there. And we were just like little kids running around in that stuff. Nowadays things are different, but zero ventilation.
that's a whole different era. I miss that era though, to be honest with you, man. You know what I mean? Like there was no such thing as lung cancer back then. There was the diseases were low. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Nobody got sick. You ate your vegetables and drank your milk, and you were good. You know what I
She
mean?
died at 93, dude. She died at 93. She smoked for I don't know how many years. But you know what? One day she was smoking a cigarette on the couch next to me. She looked at me and she says, "That'll be the last cigarette I ever smoke." She put it out
What?
in front of me, and she was dead ass. She never touched another cigarette again. She was an old Sicilian. Put that cigarette out, looked at me, and said, "I'm never smoking another cigarette." And that was it.
Wow.
She never did.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
She just put her foot
Amazing.
down just like that.
God
So,
bless her, man. God bless her.
yeah. So, anyways, what was it that inspired you to get started?
I was 11 years old. My mother, she was a single mom, 3 kids, and she was experimenting with our hair, trying to save money or, trying to give us a decent cut. And it wasn't working out for us, man. We're Puerto Rican. We got wavy, curly hair, and she tried to give us comb overs, and it wasn't a very good look, man. By the time I was 11, I have an older brother. He's about 4.5 years older than me. He let me experiment with his hair, and we were growing up on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Kid and
Oh yeah.
Play. You know what I mean? All those cool shows and movies that had all the different types of hair. So we were fed up. Enough was enough, Mom. You know what I mean? So I put my brother on the toilet. My dad had took us to Walmart back then. He used to pick us up on the weekends, and we went to Walmart when Walmart wasn't even a super Walmart yet. It was just a regular store. You know what I mean? And he said we can all pick out three things or one thing a piece. It was me, my brother, my sister, and my brother picked up like a football or something. My sister picked up like a VHS, and I picked up a pair of clippers. And it was it, man. I gave my brother a super bowl cut. You know, bowl cuts were in style back then, and we took it from there. You know, we started fading it out and things of that nature. But that's where it started. At was in the bathroom, and then it transitioned into the back porch. From the back porch, you know, I ended up in a mechanic shop, and then by the age of 18, I was in the back of or by the age of 18, I was in a barber shop.
Oh man, I got a guy here. His name is Manny, the bathroom barber.
Oh
he's
wow.
he's literally in that transition, yo. So I do a lot of cut critiques here. Like I tell people to send cuts to this email, and then I put them right here live, and I just tell them like some advice. And
Right.
all his always got the bathroom going in the background. And so he said instead of being like ashamed about it, he was like, "Nah, I changed my name from Manny to Manny the bathroom barber."
Yes, yes,
Hey,
yes.
they're guessing. Wait, they're guessing what clipper you use, and I just told, don't tell us yet. I'm just gonna let them keep going for a minute here. They're wondering what clippers you use, but don't tell them yet.
Let me hear some of them.
Some of them are saying he's using the Masters. People are asking if he's using them cordless, and they're still writing. So they're gonna keep wondering. One person asked if you've ever used the Ergo. That's Gamma's new clipper. That's the one that we're always But so we're gonna keep them in the dark on this for a minute. Let them keep asking. So where were you? You moved from the bathroom to the garage.
Yeah, I was from the bathroom. We ended up in a mechanics the back of a mechanic shop, and I was there for a while. Then by the time I was 18, I ended up at
Is
in
that
a
dude's
barber.
name Matt?
No, no, the guy that put me on and let me cut hair back then, his name was Enrique. He owned R Sport. There was a place called R Sport back in the day. That's when like Fast and the Furious, the first Fast and the
Oh
Furious came.
yeah.
Man, that was like 50 Fast and Furiouses ago. So yeah, so Enrique put me on and let me cut hair back there for like $5 I was charging back then.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so I was like 16, 17. And I was engaging in other illegal activities that I had no business participating
Oh
in,
man.
and that kind of carried me on until I was about 23. I ended up in prison. Hey, what's up, man?
Go on. My man.
That was smooth the way he did it.
Yeah, he came in real quick. I'm like, whoa, whoa.
So yeah, so then by the age of 23, I ended up in prison, and
Is that
after I got,
right?
yeah, I went to prison for armed trafficking. So I guess when trafficking is one thing, but I guess when you have guns involved, it's a
It's
it's a whole
even
nother.
worse.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So that was like a 15-year sentence.
But you was doing it
So,
right though. It ain't like you can't do it without the other.
yeah, yeah. It's like okay, you want me? I'm gonna be a drug dealer. I gotta protect myself too. You know what I mean? You know. So yeah, that didn't go so good. I
No.
ended up in prison. Got out of prison. Went back to work at the same barber shop where I was originally working at. I only worked at one other shop, by the way. I didn't barbershop hop. I didn't go from shop to shop to shop. It was very important to me that I, you know, held a respectful reputation, a very solid reputation. And I wanted to show that I was committed to something. I was committed to my career and not jumping around all over the place, and showing people stability. So from there, 2.5 years later, after that, I opened up my own shop. And about 2.5 years after my first shop, I opened up a second shop, and I had
Wow.
two boom shops. So then that's when I started getting a little bored with it, just, okay, what now type of deal. And that's when I went to my very first barber battle, which was in Tampa.
Oh, let me tell a story. All right, so you guys. So one of the first times I ever seen Chico, uh, I was kind of new to Florida. I hadn't really been here all that long. As a matter of fact, what I didn't tell you is I was actually on a field trip with the barbers from the barber school that I worked at. At the time, I was the instructor, and we decided to go to Tampa. I think it was the Exotics hair battle. This particular
Right,
one.
right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Billy Smith.
So I see Chico Boom roll up in this big like party bus, and I was telling him earlier, like, I don't know if I'm like fabricating this memory, if it really happened or not, but like I remember you walking out like a cloud of smoke from this bus, and he had this like vest on, said Chico Boom's World or something like that on it, and I was like, this dude came to like take the show over. Like, here I am pulling up in my like shitty truck, and I see you coming in, guns a blazing. So was that your first one? That particular one? Or was this a different one?
Nah, that was my first one. That was my first one. Yeah, we went. That happened. That happened.
It happened.
We had to make a statement. When I remember having a conversation with my boy in his kitchen, man. It's a big brother to me, and he was just getting on my ass and just saying, man, you gotta get out there, man. You did everything you said you were gonna do. You know what I mean? You got out, you did this, you did that.
Oh, they're
You,
asking you. They're asking you when did you go to school and how old were you when you got the license?
oh man. So okay, so remember, so yeah, I left a lot out. When I was in school, sheesh, I would say I was cutting hair illegally, I guess, in the barber shop for like the first 2 years, and then I went to school. And while I was in school, I got kicked out, and
Really?
then yeah, then I had to transfer schools. Went over to that school. I was you know living a crazy life, man. It's a movie, you know what I mean? And I was in and out the shop, and again, I was living a whole nother life outside of
Hold
that.
up, y'all. He wrote a book too. He wrote a book, and Chad's read the book. He told me it was great. I haven't got a chance to read it yet, but I'm going to.
Shout out to Chad, man, again. So yeah, living that life, it took me about 3 years to finish school. Something that would have normally took me about 10 months.
Hmm.
Took me 3 years. I stopped going, I was skipping, I wasn't, you know what I mean? And then by that time, I think I wasn't even on financial aid no more. I was just paying cash. So I think they kind of like let that, I don't know. I don't even understand how they let that go. Okay. Oh, I remember the old lady died, the one that owned the school, and some new owners came and they stripped me from all of my hours because they said, no,
No.
yes, they stripped me from all of my hours. They were done with my shenanigans, and they made me start school all over again. So I really had to, get in there. So then it wasn't until I got out of prison that I took my state board and I passed. But I had took the test. It was like a pre-test at the school, and I had a high grade. I mean,
Were
I
you
was like,
able to study while you were in prison? Like, you were kind of preparing yourself for that, right?
yeah. Well, I already, I've always had phenomenal grades, throughout school and stuff like that. That was never an issue. It's just my attention span was always very low, and I didn't.
They
I
wrote
got
they wrote you were a barber intern, not illegally working.
yeah. Intern. There you go. I was a barber intern. I was interning at a barber shop. You know what I mean? I wasn't charging for the haircut.
It was just a tip.
I was accepting $20 minimal tips. That's what
That's
I was
right.
doing. So yeah, man. You know, living that whole crazy life or whatever like that. So it took me 3 years to make a long story short, just because of me being a knucklehead. You know what I mean? And got out, took the test, passed on my first try, and fast forward after the shops or whatever, I'm having this conversation with my boy. And he's letting me have it. He's giving me the best motivational speech I've ever had. And so that's where the party bus whole thing came about.
So that's
So
why you had the party bus, because you were just like, yo, it's the first time I'm gonna do it right.
yeah, because if I won, I had to make an imprint. You know what I mean? I had to leave a footprint. I had to let them respect me because if I would have just showed up in whatever car I was driving at the time or whatever like that and battled or whatever and lost, which I did, nobody was ever gonna remember me. You know what I mean? Everybody still talks about that party bus to this day. That's the last.
I remember it.
Yeah, I thought that's the last thing I thought you were gonna talk to me about. You know what I mean? But people talk about it. Still, people still bring it up. Almost every hair show I go to, 'cause that was a big show, and
Yeah, it was.
they always bring it up. Hey man, remember when you pulled up in that party bus? But the thing went viral. There was people like across, like, people I never met on the other side. They were like, "Hey man, ain't you the guy about the party bus? I heard about that." You know what I mean? So a couple months later, they have another show in Miami. You know what I mean? I rent another party bus. This time it's an armored truck limousine, an old brick truck that they tricked all out. And then I rented another party bus to follow that party bus. So we had two party buses.
Get
You know what I
out.
mean? We
What
had
did this
50 people,
cost?
a lot.
So, and then just so for some of you guys who may not have competed before, you might not understand, but it costs a lot of money to compete as well. They usually break it up in divisions, and then they'll charge you for like each one that you want to enter. They'd be like freestyle design, best fade and beard, fastest fade. This it'd be like 100 for each one. So,
Yeah. So
some of them.
I competed at the one in Tampa. I didn't win, but I had started a great relationship with Curtis Smith, the creator of the Exotics Hair Battle, and you know what I mean. So they say that you lose the battle but win the war, or you
Mm.
know however that expression goes. So I was able to meet some connections. You know, I left an imprint in people's minds. So on the following one, Curtis, you know, he received me with open arms. You know, I pull up, the party bus shut the whole show down. We had Fat Joe, we had Timberland, we had my man Young Breed with MMG. You know, he was on there. I was
Oh,
cutting his hair on. Like we shut it down. You know what I mean?
and
So
that was the
that,
one in Miami.
yeah, that was the last time I competed. You know what I mean? Because I didn't find the need to do it anymore. I kind of like jumped the gun and just put you know position myself you know in these you know people's eyes that I looked up to. You know what I mean?
It's
And I
funny
wanted
because
these.
when the impression I got from it was like I was like he must do this all the time. Like this must be such a regular thing that he comes with everything prepared. And I felt like, man, I'm just sitting here, you know what I'm saying, like with nothing. You know what I mean? It was like, wow, you
I
know.
do, I do operate like that. It was just, I really do operate like that, very strategic. But it was, you know, what sparked me was that, you know, my big bro giving it to me, man. Shout out to my man, P Line, man, and he was really drilling me that day. And you know, just like any big brother should, you know, he let me, you know, see things from a different perspective, which motivated me to want to you know, do more in this beauty industry. So again, didn't win those two battles, didn't compete anymore, but I started chasing the show around and eventually became part of the show. So then now I went from spectator to co-host and I started co-hosting the Exotics Hair Battle Tour. That opened up doors
Oh, I didn't know
for
you.
me.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm the official co-host and my man Daniel Morum, he's the official host. He works with Andis. He's the guy with the big beard.
Hmm.
And so you know here we are traveling the country. We did 80 something shows you know around the country and
You
stuff
did
like that.
that
So
many?
yeah, so it was like I've been to like almost every state. I got like 10 more states to say I've been to all 50 states,
Wow.
you know.
Wow.
And so we did that uh transition to me working with different companies, developing my speaking abilities, you know, just polishing myself up, becoming a better educator, surrounding myself with people that were gonna help me get to those levels, you know, iron sharp as iron, steel sharp as steel, and just getting away from the riffraff, getting away from negative people, getting away from the cancers, getting away from people that were holding me down or I didn't feel that were motivating me. I just started cutting everybody off, focusing on the people that I wanted to you know be like, you know, in regards to what position they were in. I wanted those positions. I wanted to be on that stage. I started doing Orlando premieres. I started doing IBS. I started, you know what I mean, doing the ABS. I did in Chicago. I did Long Beach. I did, you know, I started doing these major shows. Even now, like during this whole pandemic when New York was in a state of emergency. I was in New York. They flew me out and they flew me back the very next day. Like I was in China right before this whole Corona thing hit. Like I was in China. You know what I mean? I was in.
Wow.
I've
So
done
you were really
Europe.
flying around like all over the place.
Yeah, all over. I've done Europe. I've done South America. You know what I mean? I've done shows. You're talking thousands of people out there, you know, and people that don't speak English. I'm doing it in bilingual, en español, para la gente que no saben inglés, tú sabes. You know what I
Oh
mean? So,
wow,
so I'm
wow,
forth, amping the show up. Even China was dope, man. I was doing a whole thing there for like 4 days of
wow,
pure education with my own translator there. So it was cool, man. I've seen some cool places. I've been in some cool places. My passport got crazy stamps in it, and you know
wow.
I'm just blessed that me, a four-time convicted felon, from East Fort Myers that was able to change my life, see things from a different perspective, see things from a more clear glass. And I chose to make the decision to change my life and take this barbering thing to a whole nother level. I knew that cutting hair was only gonna do so much for me, is what I did with the opportunities, the relationships, the money I made. It's not gonna get you rich. If anybody says, "Oh, I'm gonna cut, whatever, and I'm gonna make it," you're not gonna it's not going to be life changing, the money that you make cutting hair. It's what you do with the opportunities that are presented in front of you. What
Absolutely.
you do with the money that you do get from barbering. You know what I mean? Are you blowing it on Jordans and jewelry and, nonsense? Or are you investing in some real estate? And the real
Exactly.
estate, it then is creating, you just created a residual income. You know what I mean? For a lifetime, you could pass that on to your children.
Yeah.
Are
Do
you
you
doing
think
that?
that when you started going to them shows, like, do you think that initially provided you like that kind of rush that you used to feel from some of the other stuff that you was doing that you wasn't supposed to be doing? But
Yeah,
now you're like, man, just sitting behind this chair is just not exciting enough for me. Like I crave a little bit more, and I feel like we all kind of get to that point where like I was starting to feel that way. Like I was so bummed about Premier Orlando getting canceled this year because I had some pretty good plans this year, and it was like I kind of crave a little bit more sometimes. Like I don't think when I cut hair no more at all. Not one
right,
single solitary thought runs through my mind when I'm performing a haircut because I've done it so many times that it become as automatic as walking, and my
right.
mind is just wandering. Like.
The same here. My mind is wandering all over the place. The last thing I'm thinking about is trying to get this line out. It just comes so natural. It's like breathing. I'm just there. I'm cutting and I'm looking the other way.
Yeah,
And I mean, it's just clockwork. And it's just I'm thinking about other things though, and it sucks that these shows are down, but yeah, everybody wants to be a superstar one way or another.
yeah,
Everybody wants to. Everybody has a following right now. Anybody on Instagram where they have 30 followers, where they have 300,000 followers, they have 3 million followers. Somebody's watching that person, and somebody, you feel good that people are watching you, showing you love, liking your stuff. So yeah, like I was also in the music industry too. So I was doing a lot of rapping and stuff like that, putting out nonsense music. It wasn't nothing of substance. It was just very, very negative or whatever. But we did like strip club tours, you know what I mean? And we were out there putting shows on. So
y'all were doing
yeah,
it.
so you feel kind of gives you that rush again, but you're doing it in a positive manner, and you're leaving something of substance behind, which is education, motivation, and inspiration. And those three things out there are
Yeah.
life changing for anybody. So you're leaving something behind versus just dropping a song, telling the girl to shake her booty and throwing dollars in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
No real
feel you.
substance to that. Anybody can do that. Any girl can shake their booty, and any guy can
Uh,
throw dollars. You know what I mean? But
Honestly, so one of my clients who showed me this the other day, he was like, "I got a boat," and he showed me like his boat, and he had all these girls, and he's throwing dollars at them, and I was like, "Oh my god, man!" He was like, "This is what I do when I go fishing." I was like, "I don't go fishing the way you go fishing." Like it
nah,
was like
nah,
it was wild,
I don't.
man.
I don't go fishing like that either. You fishing for
No,
something else. You know what I mean?
yeah, he was just throwing them like they were going all over the place, like whatever. If
you should.
something winds up in the water.
Yeah, you should have told him, man. Look, man, just let me get some of that. You know what I
That's what I'm
mean?
saying. I'd
Like,
be grimy. I'd be in the water scooping it up.
straight up, man. Straight up.
Nice. So we had another person, a couple people more guests. They guessed to use the magic clips. What kind of clippers do you like?
You ready?
Let's go.
All right, here we go.
Oh, you
Let's
got them at
see.
the station too. Let's see.
So here we go. We're gonna turn this light on right here. Here we go.
Oh, that's nice,
And
bro. You get some good lighting over there.
yeah, you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
This is what I'm using right now.
Oh, he said JRL too. Hold up. Let me find out you got the new JRLs. How you liking those?
Check it out. This I don't know if you can see it. It say Chico Boom right
Oh
there.
yeah. You got it engraved
So
and everything.
this was a gift from JRL, from working with them and everything that we've done together. Whatever. It's a company that I love to work with because I work with directly with the owner. The educators there are phenomenal. I don't work for them. I work with them. So I'm someone that gives insights and supports them, and they support me. So, I love everything about Shiyu as a person, as an owner. You know what I mean? He's a great guy. For
Super cool.
trimmers,
Gold
I got
FX. Knew it.
Gold FX. But I do have the JRL trimmers. They're actually at Booms right now, but that's an awesome trimmer. That one gives the FX a run for the money. For the shaver, I got the Gold Babyless shaver. That's a really good one. At Booms, I have a Braun that I use, but I do have the Masters, the cordless Master.
Nice.
But once you use that JRL, you're not gonna really want to use that Master anymore. I guarantee that. I guarantee that. This is a light, effective,
So
long-lasting, heavy-duty machine that is probably giving a lot of other machines out there hell right now. And I also have these custom gold and chrome
what you
100
like the
year
taper
anniversary.
blades?
I do. But again, this is what I've been using. I haven't used that one or the Masters in quite some time. I still have the first generation JRLs. Look at
I
that.
had a
This is the
pair of
first
those
gen.
a long time ago.
Yeah, the 1040s. That's a great clipper. You know what I mean? The 1040s, and it has
You know what
the
was cool
really
about
thin.
those is they just seem to murk the hair. Like no matter
Yeah,
what was in it, the hair, the way that blade was, it used to just annihilate the hair.
right, right. That's so that's these are the second generation. So I have all three JRLs here right now. You know what I mean? But I got clippers for days though. Like I got 76s here.
Do you
I
use
got
detachables like a normal day?
the what?
Do you use any detachables on like a normal day? Do you keep a detachable running to just like take some of the
Yeah,
beating or
yeah. I have the what do I got here? I just put them up too, man. It wasn't the 76. It was the Indus. Oh crap. Yeah, but I do use a detachable. But right now, I'm telling you, ever since I got this, I haven't really put that down. You know what I mean? So shout out to Shiyu over there at JRL for blessing me with those clippers. It's a nice machinery. The mechanisms in the inside are phenomenal. You know what I mean?
it was Lewis. He
So
he 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 shouted it out. He wrote JRL, and I'll be honest. Like out of all the names that were on this list, I was not gonna guess that it was that one.
yeah, well, they always make sure to send me all the latest in products that they have. So JRL, again, I have a great relationship one on one with the owner and the team, the staff, everyone there is great. You know what I mean? And I can literally drive down there to Hollywood, Florida, and
That's where
he'll
they're
take
stationed
time out.
out of?
Yeah, that's where JRL is headquarters is at.
I
It's
didn't
in
know that.
Hollywood. Yeah. So we have the manufacturing plant in China, and but the headquarters is in Hollywood.
That's cool. You know what's interesting, man, is I feel like a lot of these heavyweights in the game are starting to feel the pressure from a lot of these underlings, companies like Gamma, companies like JRL. Uh, you know, them other big cats, they've been sitting there for so long doing a lot of nothing, and it's like, okay, every year you get a new wall, but it got a new top on it, and not got a new lid, but not much new in the way of features. Next year, new lid. They call it the icon, the legend, the super tape, the taper, the super taper 2000, the sterling, the reflections. So when you get right down to it, they've made very little in the way of like big steps, and I feel like they could have had a cordless probably 10 years before they did.
They could have had a cordless a long time ago, and I'm gonna show you something. Check this out. I have an old antique here. Look at this guy. This is an old antique. I'm thinking I don't even know, man. This is probably like 40s.
Hold
You
up, I
know,
got one too.
look at that. There you go. You see what I'm talking about. So
Yeah,
you got it. So that looks like a cordless concept to me, if you ask me.
I mean that's what I'm
You know?
saying. Like they were smart to be like, hey, but then they took this away. You know what I mean? Like they gave
Yeah.
you the ability to just change your cord in 2 seconds without a tool.
Right.
And then some years went by, and they were like, maybe we should pull the plug on that. And
Yeah.
they
Right.
started building it in. But
They
it's
cut these companies definitely hold back a lot. Um, and you got to also think that they have all these educators, and they want the educators to get them feedback and things of that nature. But I don't see any of these companies really sitting down with their team and actually designing it from scratch and saying,
Yeah,
okay, how do you want this to feel? They give you a product, and the product is done already by the time the barber gets it and said, okay, try these out and tell me what you think about it. They'll go back and make minor adjustments, but to actually design one from scratch, from a blueprint, and come out into a mold and whatnot, I
that's
don't
what I'm
really
saying.
see
Like
them.
I wish they would do that with like trench workers. Like just do it with people who spent a lot of time in the trenches just cutting and cutting and cutting. Like if you're a celebrity barber and you're doing like 3 haircuts a day and you don't need the battery power, you might not need you're getting new clippers all the time before they ever get a chance to really like go through some issues. And then if you talk to like some guys that are just straight up trench workers, just barbers who are busy, to stay in the trenches cutting hair, and they're like, "Yo, this is what we need. Help us design it from scratch." I think that would be dope. You know,
No, that you're right. You're absolutely right, man. But
because like
you
me,
know,
I
it's
get like 10 clippers. I mean, I probably had this month. I probably had more than 10 clippers in my hand. Like I'm holding on to this one, but a lot of stuff has came and went, and I'm not giving time for stuff to wear out.
right, right, right. Yeah, I think a lot of clipper companies, they each one of them is unique. Each one of them does things a little bit different than the other one. But you're right. They need to reach out to the people that are actually out there all day, every day. You know what I mean? And I think that they might, need to also open up their minds, open up their ears, and open up their pockets a little bit too.
Yeah, for real.
And
Like
you know what I
Oster.
mean? A
I
lot of
feel
them
like
don't want to kick.
Oster's like that redheaded stepchild. Oster's
Oh
like
my.
like we see you guys all doing stuff, but we got toasters and blenders to work on, and
Well, that's the thing. Sunbeam owns Oster, so if anybody's familiar with Sunbeam, again, just like Eddie says, they make toasters and microwaves and all this other stuff. So the money um, that Clippers, the hair clipper department or whatever, the Oster brings in, minimal, so minimal to what they bring in. So they're not worried about Oster. They're not. They don't really care about Oster. Oster is like LA Gear right now. You remember
yeah,
LA
yeah, it
Gears?
was hot
You know,
back.
right. It was hot back then, and it was popping, and they had the little shoes that they lit up. It was innovating, and then it got passed on to a different company, and then somebody else bought it. I think Skechers owns LA Gear now, but it's been passed around like a dirty whore. You know what I mean? And value to it anymore. Like who uses Oster right now? I don't. Like I use a 76. That's the only clipper, which is a phenomenal clipper,
Yeah,
but it hasn't been redesigned. You know what I mean? Now
yeah.
they have the technology. You can take that and make it a smaller clipper. The thing looks like a freaking. It
Oh, I
looks like a
know.
12-inch dildo. You know what I mean? And you're holding this thing in your hand. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm
So
saying.
they need to really go back to the design and say, how can we make this clipper smaller, more cutting edge and innovating, because the technology that it has is still unmatched. You know what I mean?
That's
It's
what I'm
still a
saying.
great
Like,
that the clipper can get hot.
on the one hand, you got other companies that decided to keep redesigning lids and giving you like fictitious upgrades that weren't really of much substance. And then you have one
Yeah,
company that did quite a lot right and just said, "We're done. We got you the 76 and we got you the fast speeds. They're both dope. It's been a long time since something's even came close to it." And I feel like, what if they were to just, they got all them like weird machines like the Topaz and all the like the odd the vibratory motor one, and like, what if they were to just like honestly say, you know what, it's time for us to do this again and really hit the lab. I mean, I almost feel like Oster has the ability, you know what I mean, to do something.
right, right. Austin does, but again, there's no team there. There's no innovation there. There's nobody doing a whole lot of anything in there. You know what I mean? It's just a company owned by another company. So it,
Yeah.
it gets kind of like it's in the shuffle. Even at the hair shows, you really don't see them making a large presence or any
He
presence
wrote,
for that
sad,
matter.
sad to hear about Oster's being the LA gear of the game. And then he wrote, somebody else, he wrote, thank you both for your time and dedication. You guys are speaking the facts. Someone else
No
asked
doubt.
you if you've ever used any of the Gamma um, clippers. Yeah, gamma clippers or trimmers.
I've the gamma trimmers. I got to hold them. I got to turn them on. Just because a buddy of mine actually got them from the company, but I never used them behind a chair, so I can't really speak on them because I haven't experienced it.
I
I've
gotta
heard
see if
great
I
things
could
about.
arrange. I gotta arrange to get you one of these new blades. So this is not the blade that currently comes on it. They sent me this one. It looks a lot like the like a T outliner blade. Actually, it's more like a GTX. They're deeper. The teeth are, and that's a huge upgrade. And that's just the top blade rather. They just gave me that, and they were like, "Yo, just try to see if you like it, whatever." And I hope that this becomes like the future of how they release those because that it's a fantastic little trimmer. It really is. And when I
Well,
when I
no,
graded
I
it, go ahead.
I hear great things about them.
Yeah, yeah, they're good. Like when I graded it, I did my top trimmers of like 2019 video, and I put them in the Gold FX. I put the Gold FX on top because clearly it was better in some respects. But the Gamma was such a close second to the other two, so I had the detailers, the wall detailer cordless as well. All of the things on the list were pretty much the cordless versions of them. And that machine's got a lot of power, but it doesn't put down the line as clean as the Gold FX. So, obviously some of this is subjective. Plenty of people will say, "Why you doing that? I got my GTX. I had this GTX for the last 20 years. Ain't done me wrong." And they're not wrong. There's people who just stuck with all this other stuff. Uh,
Right. I can't even tell you the last time I used anything other than JRL, the Gold FX, as far as a trimmer. You know what I mean? I'd literally like the Andis T outliner, the cordless just doesn't. It stopped doing it for me. You know what I mean? Actually, I think they fried on me. So I think some of these companies are releasing them too fast without giving them proper
mhm.
testing. You know what I mean? So I retired all of my T outliners, my uh, Slimline Pros. I retired pretty much every trimmer.
Yeah, and I was talking with Austin about this subject, and he was like, a lot of people think that there's a lot of money in this. He's like, we send out like a ton of free units to barbers to try, so that's like their testing phase. And he's like, at that point, we can't even make a huge order yet because if there's an issue, we want to fix it, before the main production run comes. So then they do all these shows, and there's a ton of costs associated with all the shows. So then it's like, okay, finally, once all this is done, we're able to profit from this. So it's a lot of expense that's carried in creating a new product too, for sure. So
Yeah, it definitely is, and these shows are expensive. You know what I mean? You're talking 40, 50, $60,000 for a booth. You know what I
that's
mean? Then
that's
you're
what they're
doing,
paying. That's crazy.
yeah, then you gotta think about it. You're doing these shows year long. Every month you're somewhere else. You know
What's
what I
the most
mean?
ridiculous thing you've seen at a show?
Oh my gosh. Um,
All right, I'm gonna tell a quick one while you think about it. This was just I was walking through the Redken booth, and Redken, they always spend a lot of money on their booths. Like their booth, they put everything they got into it, and they always have. Like ever since before when I was just cosmetology, I was walking through the Redken booth, and there was these guys dancing. Like I mean, just dudes, just dancing by themselves, all on their own. And I'm like watching them, and I guess I was kind of gawking because it was strange. Like it was strange that they were dancing while we was all just milling about. And this lady, she comes up, she's like, "Are you ready for the color class? It's about to start." I'm like, "You're telling me you do a color class while these guys dance?" "Yeah, they're gonna dance the whole time." I was like, "Wow, okay." And I walked away. And I was like, that's kind of distracting. Like, if you're really trying to sharpen your skills and you're in the middle of a floor that people are walking through, I don't know.
yeah, yeah, it gets pretty intense. I think that probably one of the craziest ones when I saw the girl that was pretty much she was naked, naked, and she just had body paint on her. But just say that it was cold that day,
They
and
were
you could
walking
tell.
around like that. It was more than one, or
Yeah,
just
yeah, it was three of them, and you could tell they were cold.
they're getting a
So
lot of, yeah. they're getting a lot of attention. I remember that Tampa barber battle. That one thing that I do remember from that night is I don't think there was but two girls in there, and that place was packed.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys always at those shows. That's the thing. It's pretty intense. You know what I mean?
It
But
makes me
yeah,
wonder
it's a
why,
lot of
like,
guys.
not like why, and this is just from me cutting and teaching at a barber school. Like, I taught at this barber school for about 10 years, and a lot of times, some of the women that were coming in to learn how to do this, I don't know if they were doing it for like the novelty of it or whatever, but I only really had like two or three throughout the whole time that I taught that really took it serious, and I felt they really left with some talent. And I don't understand why there isn't more women, because you feel like the gate is wide open for them to perform well in this.
Right, right, right. I don't know. I mean, I would definitely like to see more women involved. You know what I mean? I think that women barbers are really taking off right now, and it's such a thing. But who knows? You know what I mean? What I do know, what I will say is that the women that I've seen come up in this industry and transitioning and crossing over from stylists to barbers have done a phenomenal job. You know what I mean? Just representing, what it is to be a barber. I think that there's some that still have a lot to grow from, and I think that when you want to be respected as a barber, not just a female barber, I think that you need to start respecting yourself. And a lot of them try to sell themselves
Yeah.
as a sexual object. And I think that that's where they go wrong at. And that's when it gets tacky for me because as men, yeah, we might like to look at it and it might be tasteful for our eyes, but if you there it's also very it doesn't speak volumes when you're talking about talent and your ability to really put out some dope work. And it kind of like,
Yeah, because if
you
they
know,
use that to get to that point,
right.
you
And we
know,
don't we let our cuts, do the talking or whatever like that. So it kind of like, you know, uh, fogs it up just a little bit, and you stop looking at the person for the talent and just on how good they look or what kind of provocative picture that they are taking at that particular time.
yeah. All right, let me ask you a handful of questions because we're getting late. We got like 8 minutes left in the show, and I just wanted to ask you like two or three questions. All right. Do you still do the look and learns for anybody who might be in the area? For one, and then the other one, you can answer this all together. Like, what advice would you give to somebody who is up and coming, or maybe going to barber school a little later in life?
Well, yeah, I do. I haven't done any classes here lately because of this pandemic. The last class I did was a master class. It was a business class. We had 15 guests. The class was a $200 class, but you walked out of here with a lot of goodies and stuff. But it was a 4 to 6 hour, I can't remember, intense class. So if you want to take your business and your life to the next level, this is literally for that. It had nothing to do with cutting hair. The advice that I will give to everyone that's out there watching and listening, I say this all the time, is you can only do so much from cutting hair. You know what I mean? If you want to take yourself to the next level, start conducting yourself as a businessman or a businesswoman and operating in such. You are a business, whether you cut hair, renting your booth, or commission or whatever the case at someone's shop, you are still an entity. You're still a business. You are still a brand. So treat yourself as one. Go register your name, get an EIN number, open up a business bank account, start building your business credit, not just your credit, your business credit. That EIN number is basically a social security number to your business, and start building from here on out. It doesn't matter if you rent or if you're working off commission, you are a self-independent contractor. The advice that I would give to the young cats stepping into the game, or even the old cats that's stepping into the game right now, is first of all, you're never too young to teach and you're never too old to learn. That's number one. And number two, customer service and consistency will always prevail over talent. So you can cut hair at a level 10 all you want, but if your attitude stinks, if you come to work late, if you have bad work ethic, bad hygiene, you're looking a hot mess when you're coming into the door, and then on top of that, you're smelling like cigarettes, you're servicing your giving them half-ass service, trying to rush to get the other guy that's waiting there just to get him in the chair. So you're charging this guy 20, and you're trying to rush to get the other 20. When in reality, this guy would have gave you $40 to $60 if you would have just treated him right and took your time with him. So focus on great customer service. A guy that cuts at a level 4 that has phenomenal customer service will do a lot better than a guy that cuts at a level 10 with level 4 customer service. So
Facts.
remember that customer service and consistency will always outshine and prevail over talent any single day. And I can guarantee that.
See, like one of the things that I did before I was able to buy my own shop is I started like treating the shop that I was in like it was mine. Like every
Right,
aspect of it mattered to me. You know, like I
right,
was greeting clients that wasn't mine, that didn't give me
right,
no money. I was thanking people for coming that didn't come to me. You know, a lot of
right,
people actually thought that I owned the shop when I didn't, you know?
right.
And it was
And
little things like that.
a lot of guys don't do that nowadays. A lot of guys, they treat it like, oh, I'm not supposed to promote. The owner's supposed to promote. Oh, I'm not supposed to clean. The owner's supposed to clean. Oh, I'm not supposed to do this. The owner's supposed to do that. But no, treat that space like it's yours, because the way I look at it, we all live here together. This is all of our homes. So I'm going to do my best to ensure that I have a clean and professional establishment at all times. The way it looks, the way we act, the way we conduct ourselves, I'm always going to be on top of that. I was always the guy that no matter what, I always humbled myself and I swept the guy's hair next to me. I swept the whole barbershop. When it's time for me to pick up the broom, I
Hmm.
swept everybody's hair. And what that did was that started a momentum with all the other barbers where they started doing the same thing. And now we're operating as a team. Now our home remains clean for when our guests come through the door, they are coming into a clean home. Nobody wants to go to somebody's house and it's a hot mess. You feel
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
yeah.
You feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna catch something. I'm gonna get coronavirus touching this. You know what I mean? So 3 things. If you're not cutting, clean. If you're not cleaning, promote. If you're not promoting, cut. If you're not cutting, clean. If you're not cleaning,
I like it.
promote. 3 things that you should be doing while you're inside of a shop.
That's
There's nothing
nuggets.
you should be doing. You shouldn't be on your phone. You shouldn't be sitting there trying to, hook up with somebody on Tinder, you know what I mean? Or looking at how many people looked at your Instagram picture. You know, you got the same 30 people that liked your picture yesterday and the day before. Instagram is a false illusion of what the real world is. Stay off of it. Stay off of Facebook. Stay off of all that social media. You should be doing 3 things. You know what I mean? Post and go. If you got to promote something, post and go. Don't be sitting there stuck looking at things that you don't need to be looking at, things of no value that are not going to bring you any value. So cut, promote, and clean. That's the 3 things you should be doing right there.
I love that, man. That's great, man. That's exactly what I try to tell people too. Is just if you don't utilize your downtime in some positive way, you're just wasting time in the day and you're wasting your own business. You know,
Right.
we only have 24 hours in a day, and when you get right down to it, one of the things that I did to build my business was I utilized my downtime till there was none left. Now I have
Right.
zero. Like when I come to work, it's all gas. It's just cut, cut, cut. I'm eating a sandwich sometimes with a clipper in the other because I don't want to fall behind, and I'm comfortable like that. I'm comfortable like that.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, man, that's great, dude. Listen, I had a great time with you tonight, and I really appreciate you. I want to thank you for coming on my show and dropping
Thanks,
some of
Eddie.
these nuggets, man, because I hope that you guys listen to what he said, man. I think if you guys all start doing that, you might be owning your shop, or you might be successful in the shop you are at sooner than you think.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, Eddie, for real, man. And I'm gonna leave this with you guys. Save your money. You're gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna spend a lot of money. You're gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna spend a
Amen.
lot of money. Don't be that old, broke, retired barber that never got to retire. You're just tired then. You know what I mean?
I
And
know
and
we've
and
cut
you
alongside of a few of them.
yeah, and you don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? Save your money, put it away. Take continuous educational classes that are going to teach you on what to do with that money once you have that money in order to generate more streams of income. Because again, barbering is only going to get you so far. Build those relationships with people that are going to teach you what to do with your money. They're going to teach you on how to invest, and they're going to teach you on how to be able to break away from the chair and live a successful, flourishable life that you deserve.
Absolutely, man. And listen, if anybody wants to check out your channel, I have it on the I've had it on the screen the whole time. He's got a YouTube channel. It's called the Boombox 239, and he's dropping some podcasts. Is that podcast on regular podcast apps too?
Yeah, it's on every major platform, so you're able to catch it on everything. I have a program that allows me to distribute it. I think we use Anchor. Gotta talk to my Pizzo, my man Pizzo over there at 94.9 The City, man. So shout out to Pizzo for always holding it down and making it happen for me, man. Shout out to my boy Brian Thomas over there in California. He's my project manager. He's been working with me for some years now, and he's really made a lot of things come to life for me. We have Success from Behind the Chair, a book that I wrote that I feel strongly about. It's a great book. It's a great read. Pick it up. We have a second edition coming out. We have an audio version coming out. We have great things. We have some dope mentoring and coaching programs that we have coming out on Worldwide Boom.
Cool.
It's another one of my companies. It's a consulting firm. So if you need help taking your career and your life to the next level, maybe that some of these programs would be great for you. Maybe you're interested. Very affordable, but I'm here to help. I'm here to help people get to the levels in life in which they want to get and the levels in life that they deserve to be in.
Somebody just asked, how can I support your projects, Chico?
Support by tuning in right now. So just go to Boom's World on Instagram. I'm always giving constant updates of what I have going on, the mentorship program, the podcast, and so forth and so on. Everything that I got going on. So just go to Boom's World, hit the follow button, stay on top of things. If you see an ad come up on one of my stories and I'm talking about and it says swipe up and listen, if I'm telling you it's worth the buy, buy it, and invest in your career and your life. You know what I mean? The book is only $25, and that's the best $25 anybody's gonna spend. Trust me.
Yeah, and you spell that with a Z,
Yeah.
Boomz. Okay,
Yep.
because it's another guy. He's over here trying to snake your style. He spelled it with a S.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I got you though. I'm showing everybody. If you guys tune in real quick, they can see your IG,
Awesome,
and
brother.
that way, if you guys want to show this man some love, go over there and drop him a follow. Leave him a little comment on one of these if you see he's got a lot of inspirational quotes and stuff like that. He's definitely staying on top of the game over here, man.
I appreciate it.
I like the way you got your IG, man. Like no one could look at this and not feel sort of inspired by this. You know,
No, I appreciate it.
you got
Bro.
some
I
dope. I
appreciate it.
like the black and white photos. Hold up, Jack. Ooh, that's nice. Y'all see that? I just love the black and white photos and stuff. And you got the gold FX, and you can still see that it's gold. It's a good edit. Bet.
That's dope.
So, okay, my man, I'm gonna let you go. I know you're a busy man. I know you need more time than we got in the day. I feel you. And maybe we're
Thank
gonna
you.
have you up on here again one of these days, man.
For sure, brother. You guys stay blessed, man. Salute to all of y'all. Good luck in your careers.
Thank you, buddy. All right, man. We'll catch you next time. Peace. All right, guys. That was my friend Chico Booms. I feel like that was a real inspirational. Um, he's a real inspirational dude. I would tell you guys to go ahead and follow him on IG, and I'm gonna look into his YouTube channel. But if he's not posting on it yet, he's gonna start posting on it, and you're gonna see the Boombox 239 on all your other podcasts too. So I think it's pretty cool that you guys are willing to support him, and I feel like I learned a lot too. If for those of you guys who don't know, also he's actually not that far from me. He actually has a shop in Fort Myers, and I'm in Naples. So really, we're about like 20 minutes away from each other. So when I moved here, like if you would have just been kind of looking at what the other people in the area were doing, it would have been hard not to know who he was. Like he was able to get the attention of myself and obviously plenty of customers and stuff like that. So Gerg style, you want me to spit some game for Andis? Now, Andis, okay, Andis is one of the companies, and I'm gonna try to be nice. I'm in a good mood tonight. I don't wanna get like, but Andis is one of the companies like Babyliss where you might have issues with their customer service. I hear people are telling me that they're getting better. Almost everything I've ever had from Andis, except for the Masters. The Masters was a good unit. I've had very little issues with that. But everything I've ever had from Andis, I've had to replace multiple times. And much of it was less than a year. A lot of it was shortly after the year. And most of their things were warranted. Um, and I don't know if they've changed this. It's possible they have, but most of their stuff was warranted for only a year. So, you know, if it goes dead a year and a day, you're donezo. But on the other hand, the Andis usually is the cheapest of the bunch. So I got to give them props in that area because when they released all the cordless clippers, I'm talking about the original, they had the designer, eventually they had the Magic Clips, and then Andis put out the Andis Envies, and the Envies were substantially cheaper. I can't remember exactly how much cheaper, but I want to say it was like $20 or $30 cheaper. And in all actuality, I feel like the Andis Envy was punching above its weight. Now the Supra ZR2, I can't really speak on that. I haven't used it. However, I would say that you want to be you want to make sure that when you pick a expensive detachable clipper that you have a modular battery at least, because if your battery goes bad on the ZR1 or the ZR or ZR if you're from Canada, that's not modular, so you might actually have to buy a whole new unit. So that's what's nice about the OSTER Octane, and they're my favorite detachable. I think most of you guys know OSTER Octane or OSTER Volt is one of my favorite, and I've never had trouble with that. As a matter of fact, I cut hair with that for about, like, I want to say almost 10 years. You guys can look back at the unboxing video I did on it. It's on the channel, and it was almost 10 years ago. And that thing worked perfectly fine up until like last year I gave it to Chad and I switched to an Octane. So I have been disappointed, to say the least, also, Gerg, with every Andis purchase I've ever made. The only thing that I could say was really a hit that I bought from them was their Slimline Pro Li. When the Slimline Pro Li came out, remember, there wasn't many cordless trimmer options that were serious on the market, and it was of a clout that you could actually use it. It ran toe to toe with anything that was out there, and I think it still does. And it was just a good trimmer. So Dominic's asking the cheapest he could get the Ergo is for 180. Then I guess that's, if you use the code and it gets it down to 180, I guess that's the best you could do for now. But I could say that the Ergo, we've been passing so everybody in my shop has had an Ergo now since I released that vlog, but that vlog was a couple days old. So roughly for a week, everybody at my shop has been using an Ergo, and everybody at some point has commented about how much they loved them. I mean, Johan was just like, these clippers are something else. And Sonny was just like, man, these clippers are like money. And even Chad the other day, he was like, yo, these clippers are easy to blend with. So I feel like, yeah, you're spending a little bit of money, but let's just make a comparable option here. Let's say you go and buy a Magic Clip. Magic Clips are selling for pretty expensive too right now. Or if you get a Wall 1919, you're looking at pretty close to $200, maybe somewhere between 160 to 200. You can do 2 to 3 haircuts with that, and it's donezo. All right. If you are paying the same amount of money for this as you are for those, and this is lasting you for 10, 15 haircuts, I feel like your money is well spent. I feel like your money is well spent. So, hi Eddie, I'm an amateur barber here. Thank you for all your teaching. You've helped me greatly during the pandemic. I do have a question about erasing the half line. Okay, so if you're talking about the half line, and if you have a line that you put in with the half guard closed, we want to understand that is actually going to be 2 millimeters total. I'll bring this up for a second. Okay. So your issue is if you actually look at the half guard closed, you guys could see that. All right. So you see where the half guard close is. When it's closed, it's measuring at 2 millimeters. All right. And in order to get it out, you're just going to have to open that half guard up. And we know that if the half guard is fully open, it's going to get me to 4 millimeters. And a one guard is 3.5 millimeters. So you actually have some overlap here, and that's going to be all there will really be to it. And you'll be able to do it. You shouldn't really have an issue with this. But you know, you just got to keep practicing. And if you're still struggling, if you're still struggling, just stick along here. Just keep. I see what you're saying. You're having a little trouble with the half attack and the first line, and initially you're having problems. So what I would tell you to do is just stick to the lives that we're doing. We're gonna go in depth on blending actually really soon. I wanted to retouch base with you guys this Saturday. We're gonna do some more of the mannequin, and I actually want to knock this thing down pretty good so that we can start talking about shear over comb, and we can start talking about clipper stuff. So we'll get into that next. So my girl will be with me on Saturday, and we'll be knocking off her hair. So I'm gonna show you guys a nice 90 degree so that if somebody comes in with this length of hair and you really need to knock it down, I'm gonna show you guys how to do that easily. So then we can actually get into the next phase. I have used the Wall Legends, my friend, and any of the other top lids that they put on there. I'll tell you guys this: I have not noticed any difference at all in the way of all the different walls that are out there. All the 2-hole walls have all pretty much performed the same for me. I've not really had any significant improvement. So you can't say that, the Legend is better than the Icon, is better than the Senior, is better than the... There is something to be said about across the board. They're all about the same. They just got different lids and different names. Some of them came with different blades, but they're interchangeable. So yes, Steve, you can put the taper blade on the Ergo, but I would caution you because, all right, so all you're going to be able to do is change the top blade. I put a wedge blade, which worked phenomenal. I put a regular STD blade. That worked pretty well. And I would tell you guys to just hold off. Like, if you're thinking about doing anything crazy, just hold off a little bit longer. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be bringing these fusion blades to the market. That's the name of them. I'm calling them the Faper blades. But I'm telling you guys right now that they're a really nice blade, and you might want to just hold out just a little bit and check into it. Ed, I'm thinking about getting into the game. I've been thinking about which ecosystem of product will be to go to once I am licensed. And Ed, I would just tell you to just experiment around with the people that are near you, and ask them to maybe use their stuff, turn it on. How does it feel in your hand? That kind of stuff will lead you down the right road. But let's not get it twisted, everybody. Equipment is one thing, and it's fun to talk about, and it's fun to do things, and that kind of stuff. But the thing about equipment is it can only get you so far, and it really is more about the barber. Because I'm telling you right now, whether it was Chico Boom cutting, me cutting, or anybody cutting, we can make probably almost any clipper look really good. Because we understand what we're doing. When we make shortcuts, we know what shortcuts we're making. When we pull out tricks, we know what kind of tricks we're making and what result we'll wind up with. So, it really boils down to your individual barber yourself, So let's see here. Why half guard open is longer than a one closed, and how is that possible? Well, I would tell you to watch the Beauty of Scent. I would tell you to watch my guards video where I did my best to try to explain that. But one of the reasons why you are able to perform perfect fades, all right? Because what's a fade? A fade is coming from nothing, skin, into something, right? And essentially, we are just tapering it up. Actually, let me see. Hold up. Don't make me go to the board, guys, because I have it not really. This is my planning station. All right, hang on. I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. Yeah, I didn't know I could be in both at once. All right, so there's two of me. Let me grab this marker real quick. All right, so you guys check this screen out here. All right, one of the reasons why we're just trying to get something going here. All right, so we got skin, and we're going to be getting into this soon here. So we're going from skin into whatever length we want to go. The way that we're going to do it is we want to make a perfect blend. If this line has issues in it, anything going on here, you're going to see those lines. So the blend needs to be perfect. All right. And the reason why you're able to create these styles and you're able to create this without any issues and you can continue to duplicate the process is because there is actually some overlap. There's actually some overlap in your guard system. So when you have overlap, that allows you to hit every length, regardless of the minuscule differences in the in the clippers themselves and in the manufacturers and in the tolerancing. So that's exactly why he says he missed the board. We're going to be going back to the board. We're going to be hitting the board pretty hard when it comes to the blending because I feel like I don't know anything about that Icon Barber Supply, so I don't know if it's safe to buy anything from them. I know that 614 is the real deal, and you know, Amazon and those kind of things, but be careful. But I feel like by the time you guys reach this point and you guys come to this channel and you're watching a lot of the content here, you're gonna start to understand how to perform some of the cuts, but you're gonna have some gaps in what's going on. You're gonna have some issues. So that's why I feel like the board is just really helpful to really clarify your thoughts, help you understand why we're doing what we're doing, and you know we can learn better from here. So you know that's pretty much that. So we've been going live for about an hour and 15, and I am going to be getting off. And I can't believe my computer's starting to like lose power over here. But so we're gonna be getting off, and I really appreciate you guys all for coming in and hanging out with me. I had a blast hanging out with Chico Boom. Really cool guy. Had a good time, and we'll be back on Saturday. Plus, I believe I got another upload coming for you guys scheduled very soon. So your upload will be on the way, and I want to show you guys one more thing before I go. I'm not sure if this is it. Bam. So I got this cut coming for you on the way. I still got to finish this edit. And I got this cut, which this is kind of cool. With this haircut, there's actually something going on here. See, this guy that I did this haircut on, I did this in the walkthrough fashion, so I'm going to be uploading like a 35-minute video soon where I walked you through and I talked through the whole thing. He was actually, here's my thumbnail. He was actually my client that I did on my YouTube channel like 2 years ago, and it got almost 500,000 views. So I thought to bring him back in, do a walkthrough, and you know, let's see how it goes. Maybe hopefully we start to get some views again, because I'm telling you guys, I don't know what's going on, but I put a lot of work into these videos, and I know, you know, I know the algorithms and this and that, but like I don't know what's going on, but like we're definitely not getting the amount of views we should be getting. So you know, that's what I'm saying. So 5 a.m. and he's just ready to start the day strong. I usually never catch you live because I'm always asleep in my country. But I just want to say thanks. It's 5 a.m. here, and I'm just getting ready to start the day strong. That's what I'm talking about. Start the day strong, and, you know, maybe start off with a little workout. Start getting your thing, you know, just get them little things accomplished. They lead to bigger things down the road, and it really helps. Thank you, Mama. Good to see you up in here. I love you too. And, yeah. So, you know, when you get right down to it, I love coming here and I love doing this, and I don't really care so much about the views as much as I care about just helping people and impacting people. So all the positive stuff that you guys got, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I plan on keeping on going, and you know, thank you guys so much. So I'm about to leave you guys. This is the YouTube Barber Academy. I'm Mr. Eddie Barber, and I'll catch you guys in another live soon and another upload soon. All right, for real. Peace.